So this is what you call a proper organised traffic jam. Now you might think, Javier, what are you talking about, a proper organised traffic jam? The reason it's a proper organised traffic jam is because the authorities know that there will be a traffic jam. So there's a plan for it. Look, as we're about to crash into the rickshaw, and the guys look balancing, look at that, woo! And we've just hit mirrors. So they know there's going to be a traffic jam. They're well aware of it. It's totally documented. They have full awareness. They will know how many cars will be going past here on a Sunday afternoon. And the simple answer is that we won't do anything about it. We will let everyone take responsibility for themselves, because that's how the cookie crumbles in an organized traffic jam. These in Pakistan, a Mercedes, as the motorbike chases the Mercedes. The entry point for Bahriya town. Mummak town Sihala is on the left. So this is the Rawat road, sometimes known as the Islamabad road, and we are going towards Defence Housing Authority areas on the left and on the right as well. On the right hand side, about 10 minutes from here, is the location for One Serene Residences, Pakistan's first overseas resort style development, which is greatly documented in many places. The offices are headquartered for One Homes in London. If you want more information about that, feel free to comment below. And this is the direction also towards one of the premier international shopping centres in Pakistan, which has a basket full of shops, international standard restaurants, international standard of clothing, shoes, sportswear, electronics, and so on and so forth. And in the distance is Giga Mall's new residential building project, which is aggressively marketed in the Giga Mall. They have their showpiece apartments there as well, where you can go and visit and have a look at what the apartment of the future will look like. And there it is, the ship lit, I can't even say it, the ship-like looking international market with the World Trade Center on the left hand side, and we are heading towards the rear side of the building, because that's where the car parking facilities are. And very bright it looks as well. Oh yes, and I was here in November last year, where they had started working on the extension of the Giga Mall, and it looks like lots of it has started to rise, mashallah. And as we turn left, I seem to recall about 18 months ago, this was just somebody's plan, and the plan, mashallah, with effort and work and money and investing, has started to rise very rapidly. And this is the rear entrance to the Giga Mall. Well, it's a fair distance to the parking area because of all the work that's going on. And if you believe there's a sale, and welcome to the basement car park. In 2003, I had the pleasure, alhamdulillah, and the honor of going with the Tablighi Jamaat to Ukraine. And one of the things that they always do, or they were doing, should I say, at that time, was that some of the Tatari Muslims were coming back. They'd been given their land back from the government. We won't go into all of that, but when they were going back into their own lands, the first thing that they were doing was setting the foundations and building a masjid. And when I come into Giga Mall and I see this place, for some reason there's a connection between the two places. So we've come into the car park, which is in the basement, and have a look at this, the masjid, and this is the gents entrance. On the right hand side, And in front of me is the ablution area. As I turn towards the left hand side, look at this, isn't this? MashaAllah, MashaAllah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept the efforts of those people that have invested in their dunya and their akhirah in this particular masjid facility, which is simply first class for all those that come into the house of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So for those of you that are not aware, Muslims pray 5 times a day, congregationally, to come together, to meet one another, to increase harmony, to increase unity. And Muslims also give 2.5% of their wealth to charity. They fast in the month of Ramadan, and they visit Mecca, go to Hajj at least once in a lifetime if they are able to afford the journey, and they testify in La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah, in that there is no God but Allah, and Muhammad, peace be upon him, is the Prophet of Allah. Islam is a religion of peace, of harmony, of social justice, of fulfilling everyone's rights, in particular in Quran, in Surah Nisa, the rights of women. And it has a complete way of life. Speak to your local mufti, speak to an expert, and they will tell you all about Islam and religion. And look at this, mashallah. And the exit is on the right hand side to the basement car park. So we've jumped straight into the lift and straight up to the top floor of the Giga Mall, because like usual everybody wants a cold drink, a hot drink, and everybody wants to eat. Now on this floor, from KFC, McDonald's, Pizza Hut, and all your major brands throughout the world, you will find that they have a branch here, and they're usually heaving with people. It's a very popular place as well, and obviously it's air conditioned too, so particularly in the hot weather, it's a comfortable place for people to eat, for families to eat. And eating together is such a big thing in Pakistan. Sitting together, finding time, having discussions about social items, being able to communicate, and bringing people together, often over a cup of chai or a cup of tea. And they say wherever you are, coming together for a cup of tea is such a great thing, and it's often the order for the day. Many years ago they attempted to reduce the consumption of tea here in the not in the United Kingdom, here in Pakistan, and it wasn't met with too many niceties. I spoke to someone the other day, we were having a little bit of a laugh, and I said, in Pakistan I'm attempting to ban 3 things: cricket, WhatsApp, and tea. And he said, he said, we are addicted to tea. He says, do anything but do not give up on tea. One of the other guys said, I'll give up the tea, I'll give up WhatsApp, I'll give up the social media, I'll give up talking about politics, but I can't survive without cricket, because it's a mad cricket nation country. Yaki is coming soon, and here are the cowboys from Howdy. And if you fancy an Alibaba doner kebab, mashallah, or whether it's the pizza from Broadway or sweet and salty, there's plenty for everyone. And whether you fancy OPTP or L-Bake, I remember them, or whether it's a soft swirly ice cream at the Red Apple. And check that for a teapot. That's where I got my tea from earlier on at the Cocoa Republic. And a whole load of other restaurants and bars, whether it's Hardee's or whether it's McDonald's, whether it's the China Grill or Chachaji's. Whether it's the Juice Island or a place called Riwayat, which means tradition. Isn't that awesome? The House of Mandi, and it looks like Malungi in the corner. I need to have a closer look at that. Isn't that just cool? And as we walk through the Giga Mall, you can hear people, they're shouting, they're making noises. They're just having fun with the families. And there's American accents, Canadian accents, people speaking in many foreign languages in comparison to Urdu. There's many visitors here as well. You can see dollars, you can see lira, and you can see different currencies exchanging hands as well. There's so many different people of so many different backgrounds, all different colors and all different sizes. And some of them are pretty wild, with wild wings. And you will find your family entertainment on this door, thank you, or on this floor even, as I nearly walked into someone. There's fun ice cream on the corner, and there's your whole area for children. And as we walk down the steps, yes, that's the kachra, onto the next floor. We're revolving around on the escalators and the steps as we go down to the next floor. And if you fancy a chocolate, this is a chocolate cafe. This mini pancakes, mashallah. Let's chase the train. Oh, and we're about to be hit by a truck. Smiles for miles, it says on it. I think we're on the ground floor now. As you will see on here, we have men's fashion, Adidas Under Armour store on my left hand side, and these are only for families. And like usual, they're going to stop off at the King Corn Sweet and Tasty station. Just look, making some sweet corn for us, mashallah. A little bit of salt and a little bit of margarine, mashallah. And there it goes in the cup. There you go, ready made, and costs 200 rupees, which is about 80 pence-ish. Oh, and if you want to create some friends, subhanallah, attar of a million kinds. And if you like a cake and you want to put on some weight, it's Baskin Robbins. And off we go down to the basement. Subhanallah. And we tread carefully. And as we start to hit the basement, Carrefour is on the left hand side, massive supermarket. And this is the final escalator. Actually, it's not an escalator, it's a travelator. Oh, mashallah, it's a time for Asr. So when you're a traveller and you're travelling in excess of 48 miles, ask a mufti, then you can shorten your salah. So we are about to read 2 rakats for Asr, inshallah. So this is the exit point, and this is where we do a U-turn, and we head off back to Bahariya town. And there is the Giga Mall on the right hand side as we go past the building and head off back towards Bahariya town. I love this. It's so dangerous. It's so much fun but so dangerous for some of these people, but they just become used to it over a period of time. And that is the direction towards One Serene Residences, with the offices headquartered in London, with global offices in New York, in Houston, in Islamabad, Gwadar and beyond. And there's Bata, established in 1984. I'll say that again, 1884. I think somewhere in Czechoslovakia, and now they're over, or should I say now they're established in over 70 countries. The new buzzword appears to be legacy in real estate. That looks nice too. But apparently she could be a neighbour, she might scare you a little bit. And if you want to hire out Pakistan, apparently you can hire it for a day. And I suppose out in the world there are islands that some of the most richest people hire out for a day. There must be. And there's more people that appear to be loving it. Major developer in the area, Zem Builders, and a relatively smooth 3-laned carriageway. And that's the benchmark. And if you want to know where number 1 is, And if you want to know where number 1 is, he's right here. That looks nice. The attraction to food, they look nice as well. And the motorbikers are flying down the hill. There's the Callisto marquee, which my understanding is it caters for weddings, and it's a hall that's used for many different purposes. And we're going to stop off near a cart to buy some mangoes. So I came for mangoes and ended up looking at these. Oh my god. Apparently I'm being told locally that these are good for your blood. They're good for blood pressure. And apparently if you swallow a hair, I'm not sure how much to believe of that, if you swallow a hair and eat these, this is a treatment for it. So world-class discussions for overseas Pakistanis. They're called German, but if you know what they're called in English, please comment below and let me know as well. And they are 200 rupees per kilo. In the UK, I think they're about £16 for a small box. And the guy hasn't got any change. So he's gone to get some change from his friend. And now for the real purchase. And did you know mangoes also have different names? Chonsa, Sindri, I can work that one out. They're from Sindh. Langri and goodness gracious and something else as well. And this is known as Chitta Chonsa. That is white Chonsa. The smell is just awesome. And that's a massive 800 rupees for 4 kilos. So that's basically £2.75 for 4 kilos of mangoes. And here comes the German guy as well.